welcome to my channel, Mace's Life, where I'm terrible at managing money but trying to get better. So with today's video, I'm going to have an update on my previous video on my financial milestones. So in my last video, I went over all of my milestones that I would like to complete within the next, 10 or so years, maybe. And I went from where I started with my September starting points, balances, percentages, all of that, as you can see here. So now I wanted to do an update by going over my 2023 quarter 4 changes. This template I did not make myself. I got it from Personal Finance with Layla. It used to be called Debt Over It. I will have her channel linked below, as I do not want to steal any credit. As you can see here, so my first financial milestones have to do enlarged with my debt. And so if you want to see a more detailed breakdown month to month of my debt confessions, I have already recorded and posted those debt confessions on my channel. So that is why you can just see them here exposed, and that's just because you already would know, if you've seen those videos, how much debt I have and how much it's changed month over month for quarter 4 of 2023. So I did want to go over the percentage changes. This is something that I added. It's not in Layla's, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, templates, but I just like to see it for my own personal reasons, I guess. So for my Chase Freedom credit card, it has increased. I don't know if I did this percentage right, but I had it go up this much. So it is in the negative because it increased when it should be decreasing. Same with my California Coast Credit Union credit card. But then my Chase Edge, I kept it at 0%. For my USAA Signature card, the balance has decreased, so that's why I put it in the green. It decreased by about 4%, and that's just because right now I'm only making the minimum payments, but I hope to change that soon. Same with my Citi Diamond credit card. It's gone down 3% in the balance because I'm only making the minimum payments. And then my Bank of America Platinum credit card is also going down at 3% because I'm only making the minimum payments. I made 2 payments in December, so that's why it's a little bit more. Alright, then here I have my USA rate card, so that balance has increased 6%, which is why I have it in the red. And my Chase Sapphire has decreased by 3% with the minimum payments. So overall, my credit card balance has increased by 4%. That's not good, that's why I have it here in the bright red. My Vivint loan, because I was able to negotiate lowering that loan, I was able to decrease my balance by over 50%. Then with my student loans, that balance decreased by 2% with the minimum payments. My auto loan decreased 6% with the minimum payments. And my personal loan decreased 8% with the minimum payments, leaving my total loan debt to decrease overall by 9% of its balance. And then my total debt to decrease 3% overall of the total balance when you take into effect how my credit card debt increased. Alright. Then, as I discussed earlier in a couple videos ago, my first video on the milestones, I want to bring down my debt to income to 10%. Eventually I want it down to 0, but to buy a house, I want to, at the very least, bring it down below 10%. So as you can see, month to month, I have been trying to lower it, and I've decreased my debt to income about 11%. All right. I also would like to make $100,000 in a salary. My salary does not change calendar year wise, so it doesn't change from January to December. Instead, it changes fiscal year wise, so it changes, and I can get promotions and such from July to June. Things can happen in between those months, such as promotions, certain promotions, but for the most part, I'll see a raise from July to June, not January to December. And so that's why I want to make this much 3 months in a row, as well as I would like to get a second job. I've tried in the past to get a second job while working, but I ended up hurting my back. I had a pretty significant back injury, so I was not able to work a second job. So that's also why I would like to make $8,333 for 3 months in a row. It's just, maybe I won't hit, the $100,000 a year at first, but I could hit this first. All right. Additionally, I want to be able to save $1,000 in my emergency fund. I want to be able to do that before I start really tackling debt. And as you can see here, my emergency fund has been struggling, and the balance has decreased by 31%. So that's why I have it in the red, because I want this to increase. While my credit card debt is in the red, even though it's a positive number, and that's because I don't want it to increase. I want it to decrease. And then these amounts here for the $3,000, $6,000, $9,000, $12,000, and $15,000 emergency fund, I'm gonna work on those after I reach $1,000 first. So I just left those all blank. Additionally, with my home buying journey, I need a good credit score. So I would like to have more than a 750 credit score. And so I'm just using this here to track my credit score. I'm sure it's going to be all over the place until I pay off my credit card debt. But this is the change, 1% for my FICO 8, and then negative 1% for my Vantage 3. I do understand that neither of these specific credit scores are used for home buying. I believe it's the FICO 7, 5, 6, and 7 that's used for the home buying credit, but this is what's free, so this is what I use. Alright, additionally, again, with buying a house, I want to be able to save up at least a minimum of $10,000 for my buyer's commission, $15,000 for a down payment, and then $10,000 for closing costs. I do understand that I can get the seller to pay some or even all of these amounts, but I'd rather be safe than sorry and just save them up a little by little where I can, these minimum amounts. So I have not started that because I'm still paying off debt, higher interest credit card debt. And then finally, with my home process, I want to buy a house. This isn't something that I can just track month to month. Either I did it or either I will buy a house or I will not. So there's no change. All right. So now I would like to invest for one day when I retire, because I would love to retire financially well off. So my first goal is by March 2025 to have $25,000 invested. So as you can see, it increases by $467.25 roughly every month. And that is month to month. For this past quarter, it has increased by 10%. These other amounts to hit $50,000 invested and $100,000 invested, I have not started yet because I'm going to first complete this $25,000 category. So for the percentage change, I left blank. Then lastly, I want to be able to max out my yearly Roth IRA contributions, but I will not start doing that until after I've paid off my high interest debt. So as of right now, there is no change, a 0% change. Alright, so that is my 2023 quarter 4 breakdown of my financial milestones and where I am in regards to reaching those financial milestones. Thank you for following along. If you stayed to the end of the video, I'd love to have you join me on this journey. So hit subscribe, click the like, and leave a comment if you would like. My next video will be out tomorrow, but if you have any advice, please leave it down below, as I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, thank you, and until then, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.